Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about focus and something really simple. Whatever you focus on expands. See, the cool thing about our brain, right, is we can only entertain one thought at a time. Now, some of you might say, well, I can multitask, I can do this, I can do that. Yeah, you can, but not effectively. Can women do it better than men? Yes, still not effective. Here's what happens. Most of our thoughts in any given situation are kind of like a spiral. It's one which introduces something else, which introduces an emotion, which makes us feel a certain way, which makes us think about this, which makes us create an image in our head, which makes us create something else, which makes us believe something else. It's just a series of events, right? It's just a series of screenshots. Now, these screenshots could be stills, they could be movies, they could be color, they could be high definition, they could be, blurry, they could be panoramic, they could be framed, they could be a lot of different things, right? Those are called submodalities. When we're focusing, and this is a great one, is if you were to think of something that you normally do when you're exercising, okay? Or let's say you're focusing on your diet. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you're going to focus on. It's going to expand. This is why when people diet and they say they can't have something, their focus goes, oh, I can't have this, I can't have this, I can't have this. I don't want any of these good things. I only want this. Right? And it's ridiculous, semi-childish, but if we don't know what we don't know that we do that. And it's interesting because if we're focusing so much on what it is that we're not getting, we're going to desire that so much more. Now, are we weighing those things? Are we focusing on the right things, the right screens, the right scales, the right outcomes? When we think about the things that we want, and let's say we're talking about our health and fitness and longevity and mobility and all of this stuff, and we say, I want to lose 15 pounds. It's not very exciting. It's not going to get you going. Unless, you've associated meaning to 15 pounds specifically, and that represents something that actually has a lot of weight and value for you. But 15 pounds is rarely the thing, right? It's what 15 pounds will give you that you don't have now. Confidence, attractiveness, freedom, any of these things, right? These feelings, these sensations that we have. Life is just a series of emotions. And then we take action on or in spite of these emotions, or they control us. And whatever ones we focus on can dictate the way we feel very quickly. Now, in the triad, which I've talked about before, focus, physiology, and language, each one introduces how we feel. Okay? Focus, what we're focusing on. Physiology, how we move our body. And language, what we say to ourselves. Right now, we're just going to talk about focus. I'll talk about the other ones in different videos. Now, why is that important? Well, let's say I'm going to work out. I have a goal of losing 15 pounds, and one of my friends got started. They've lost 15 pounds in 2 months, 3 months, 15 pounds down. And instead of focusing on the work we're doing for our lifestyle and our long-term goals, we're so focused on that person. Now, maybe you've seen the meme that floats around. It says, losers focus on winners, winners focus on winning. Okay, it's very cool. Maybe I'll post it somewhere on one of the accounts. But what it is, and it's just swimmers. You can Google it, and you'll find that right there. Click images, you'll see it. It's amazing. And I think it's really important for us to look at on a regular basis. Because if we're focused on what somebody else has done, we have no idea their backstory. We don't know if it's healthy. We don't know if it's unhealthy. All we know is that 15 pounds are gone. We know nothing else about it, okay? We don't know the changes. We don't know the circumstances. We just don't know. So it makes no sense for us to focus on something that's outside. Or let's say we're doing a plank, right? There's all those jokes about, another meme. People, the last minute of your life, hold a plank, it goes on forever. So why? Because the focus is on how hard it is. Internal tension and pain and everything like that, rather than something that could be creative, positive, proactive. Like, how is it shaping your body? Feeling those muscles work, not just to get stronger, but also shaping you from the inside out. Correcting negative, perhaps postural issues or asymmetries or something in the body. What are we focusing on, right? Maybe we did a 35-second plank and now we're doing 37 seconds. That's awesome. That's progress. What are we focusing on? So whatever we focus on, good or bad, can expand. And when we start thinking about the bad things, what we're missing, how hard something is, adjusting our schedule, oh, this sucks. Well, chances are that entire process is gonna suck, right? If we turn to the other side and we say, cool, I got to do my workout. This is going to help me feel better. I'm going to be more confident, stronger, attractive. I'll be able to do more things, do them longer. I'm not going to have to rely on my kids to take care of me when I'm older because I'm building these now. And it doesn't matter what age you're at. You can always make positive, habits a part of your life as a part of our lives. We can do that. It does not matter. See, that's the cool thing about it. It's always going to be positive. So when we can start thinking about those things and focusing on the good, we start focusing on the stuff that's going right. We start focusing on the positives. We start focusing on the good as a part of the whole. The entire experience changes. But here's what happens. Everybody's heard the saying, at least once I'm sure, making mountains out of molehills, right? Little thing goes wrong, little thing doesn't go our way. One recipe didn't taste the way it's supposed to. We had a bad workout, fucking huffing and puffing and being all upset about stuff. Why, right? Here's the cool thing about molehills and mountains. Time will conquer all of them. Time's gonna pass. Little problems require quick solutions. Big problems might require a quick perspective shift or a more long-term solution, maybe a different set of actions, not necessarily time. But, we've all heard the saying, time heals all, right? Time takes all. So if we let ourselves become overwhelmed by little things that don't go right, assuming we're doing things that are moving us in a positive direction. If we're not doing anything, and we see all of these things around us that are going bad or not the way we want, well, the important thing is to start by making a list of all the stuff that's wrong. I know you said, or, if you're looking at me, I know you said, Mike, don't, stop looking at all the stuff that's going bad. No, but we got to be aware of it. Like, we can't just ignore it and pretend it's not there. It exists. It's real. Like, it's there, right? Avoidance can lead to delusion. Just like, what are they? Affirmations done incorrectly without action. Like, if I tell myself that I'm 6'2", 8% body fat, and that's what I do, and I'm not, right? But I don't do anything, it's never going to change. And then I'm just going to be delusional. I'm going to live in this fantasy. It's not going to work, right? So we got to be aware of what those things are. We got to understand what the problems are, where they're coming from. Second, we got to know the opposite. Right? The opposite of that. I was going to say this for another video, but we got to know the promise of the payout. We got to know the promise of the payout. Because if there's all these problems and we do something, but let's say we've done it before and we've spun our wheels, we've done it wrong, even the idea of addressing it becomes overwhelming. It just becomes like it's too much. We've tried this too many times. It's awful, but what is the promise of the payout? What are we looking to get if it works? What if it works? Right? So when we start thinking about our focus and it expands, and let's say we're not doing anything. Let's say we're starting from, everything is bad. What's the opposite? The opposite's got to be good, right? If at least something works out, then we got to take action in those areas because what if it works? Trust me, small progress, no matter how small, can change your life in a moment when you start building that momentum, and it's got to be small. Talked about that in other videos. You can look through those and find that. But whatever you focus on expands. So if you're making lots of mountains out of lots of molehills, take stock of your molehills. Start looking at them. What are your molehills? And what can you do to get rid of those things? Where is your focus? If your focus is a complete shit show, like you're like, no, dude, I've tried all this positive thinking, this, that. It's not positive thinking. It's not positive. We're not saying the bad things don't exist. We still have to address those things. Like positive thinking, we can be positive in spite of a negative situation. That's okay. But when we're looking at these things and we're looking at what we're doing, if you're, seriously, ground zero, make a list of everything that you've ever done positive. And I know this is going to sound like the silliest thing ever, but start as young as you can. I still remember when I accidentally learned to tie my shoes. Not even kidding. I was sitting there There's a little landing area as soon as you walk in the house. I was getting ready for like preschool or kindergarten. And I remember I was just fidgeting with my laces, and all of a sudden it was tied. And I was like, huh, that's odd. And I did the other one, and I didn't even know what I did. I swear to this day, I don't even know what I did. I felt like I was just wiggling my hands around, and all of a sudden it worked out. But I'll tell you, I can remember that, okay? That it was like this big feeling. Now, that was over, it was close to 40 years ago. But my point being is focusing on something so small and silly, it's like you can see the smile on my face. It changes the way we feel inside. Now, let's say it's something else. Let's say we found the most eggs in an Easter egg hunt. I know these sound silly and insignificant, but if we got to build on successes and we don't have a lot of them, we got to dig deep. Go back to everything. Everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Start building those successes. Focus on the good. Even if you got to make that list every day and it's silly, but take action on the things that need to be done. Conquer those molehills. Time will take care of the rest. Conquer those molehills. Get them done one at a time. Make your list, get to it, focus on the good, get it done, and I will see you in the next video. I really hope this helps. You got some molehills, throw them down. You got conversations you want to have, put them down. Happy to get engaged. I'll talk to you soon.